So today, right now, I'm at the studio. I'm reorganizing stuff, so excuse any clutter in the background. So I'm gonna go through with you some of the bits and tools I use as a pedicurist that I think are probably the best ones to use as a professional. At home, really, I don't think you need any bits at all. I think like you are better off just getting, a few tools that are very simple. But today we're going into professional tools. And I'm gonna put my glasses on because I can't see without them. Did you like that? Maybe I'm gonna start a karaoke channel. These glasses are worse for wear, but I showed up. I didn't say I would be perfect. These are nippers that are not spring jaw. They're kind of like a little pair of scissors. I don't know if I have them there right, but these are great for when you are cutting the toenail and you are going to the side wall, pretend that's a toenail, and you might feel something inside of there that's still stuck, or it's stuck previously because who knows what's going on. And then you can use these to sort of like pick it out, which can be great for pain relief. They're also nippers, right? So if there is like a little scraggly bit on your toenail, like the cuticle area, you can use it to remove it. I'm like, oh, I could do that right now. The thing that I like for doing pedicures professionally, maybe no glasses. Okay, so what I like for pedicures is like multi-use tools that are effective and, you can some are, in some cases, reusable, disinfectable, and then some are disposable because in certain circumstances, I feel like it's better to have a disposable than something that is reusable because of like, you want something to be sharp all the time or have a certain grit all the time, and that's not possible if you're getting reusable bits. So these are a little bit worn because I use them all the time, but this is a Stalix Potto disc, right? I like the ones with the air holes and I like the plastic ones. This one is plastic. This is really good if you have an Efile that is a little bit less powerful, not as much torque, because it's not gonna weight down your handle and thus burn out your motor. Both of these are really good. I would stay away from the Potto discs that are like this if you don't have like a high power machine, because they can kind of get you into some trouble just like as far as like your motor goes, and yeah, they don't work as effectively. These are quite heavy. These are really good. I like to have them in a big size and then the medium size. Even though this looks super small, I believe it's a medium, like maybe this is like a 20 millimeter and these are 25. Then with these, I like to have a 100 grit, and then I like to have a buffer. And the buffer I like 180 usually because I'm using that to seal the skin on the feet and making it super smooth and making it last for a really long time. Like if you want your pedicure to last for a really long time, Potto disc foam buffers, awesome. So I like a pair of nippers, toenail nippers, not just like for cuticles. These look intimidating, but once you get a handle of using these, they're far more precise than using a pair of at-home toenail nippers, and they're also professional. I've never had a client that was afraid because I've never been afraid to use them. Like if you feel intimidated, then maybe like practice on yourself and other people and then continue with using them in your practice. But these are really great. You can get them resharpened, which is a plus. And for these ones, they have like a very small jaw, so they also double as being able to go into the sidewall like the first tool that I showed you. These nippers pick out any debris that's stuck in there. Once you get really good with these, then you can kind of like omit other tools like these. I love a toenail free edge bit. So once you're done cutting the toenails, you want to bevel those edges, smooth them. Imagine I'm going around a toe because you don't want any sharp corners. Regardless of how thick or thin a toenail is a sharp corner that's gonna poke into the side of a toe or, cause friction, snag, so you wanna be able to bevel the edges. Some people do go ahead and, do take off quite a bit of length with these, but I like these specifically for just smoothing out the edges and rounding out the corners. You can also, if you get a bit like this with the regular side also abrasive, you can also use this to prep the nail plate if you're gonna do a polish or a gel polish on a healthy toenail. That also works. One of my favorite tools, this, I just hit myself with it. This is like a tiny spoon. These little spoons are really good for cleaning around the cuticle area and for cleaning in the side walls. And you can use them ever so slightly to feel anything that needs to be taken out. So if somebody has a little bit of debris within the sidewall of their toenail, you can feel that and then take one of your next tools and take it out. And you can use these throughout your service to be able to see what needs to be done. Very important tool, would not work without it. You can also clean under the free edge. You know, these are just great. I love this tool so much. So this is by the brand Olton. Actually, my toenail nippers are from Olton too. Olton's a really good brand. So is Stalix, super thin. You want to get the thin one. I've tried some Amazon ones and they always come out thick. So if you can get your hands on a professional tool, obviously if you're a professional, you're going to. This one by Olton has like a curved edge and a straight edge. And this one's cool because you can also take off the heads and disinfect them because it's so big. It's hard to disinfect the whole thing. So you can take off the heads and disinfect them. And this is really good for the sides, the side walls of the toenails, especially like you're beveling off the edges. You bevel off the edges with your toenail bit, but then sometimes, you know, you really want to do a really detailed job because feet are in a constant environment of pressure and friction. So you just want to make sure that you're doing the best job you can. And using one of these on the side walls here, you can really just like clean up your work and make sure everything's okay. Ingrown toenail file by Olton. I love that brand. They make really, really good cuticle scissors and cuticle nippers. These are really good for when you're debriding a toenail. Sometimes people have really thick toenails and they need some help with them and you will have to debride them. Do not take down a toenail professionally unless you have a good vac system, something that's going to take away any of the toenail dust from your breathing pathways, even if you're wearing a mask. We can talk about my dust system that is decent, but ideally like a vac Efile is the best that you can get if you're doing this like full time. You want to get a fine and like maybe a medium or this looks like an extra large. You know what I mean, extra whatever, take a lot off. So you want a couple of these. These are usually a decent price and you can debride toenails with these. You can thin out toenails so then there's less pressure on the side walls. You can use these also sometimes to take off a little bit of a callus or a corn, depending. They're pretty good multi-use tools. I would use these in my practice all the time. This is a ball bit. I don't use these to clean up the cuticle area. I am a firm believer that we don't need to for a bunch of different reasons. We're going into bits, so I'm not going to go into why I would not use one of these ball bits on the cuticle area. But these are really good for sidewalls. People who have a lot of buildup of skin because their toenails are cutting in, you can use this to clean that up, and you can use these for the sides. You can even, like if it's a very superficial corn, use this as something to help you with removing that excess buildup of skin. Again, same reason, this is a bud bit. Do you need it? Maybe a bud bit more than a ball bit. A bud bit's really nice because it's almost universal. You can use it for cleaning sidewalls. And you can also use it for cleaning up any extra callous skin. Again, I don't use these for the cuticle area. Something similar to this bit. This is sometimes called a unicorn bit. Straightforward, sidewalls, superficially the cuticle area, no Russian manicures for feet. This is a great bit to have. Those are the bits that I use on a day-to-day basis. Like when I'm preparing my metal dishes for a pedicure, those are the bits that I use the most. I'm gonna find my corn probe. I've had, you know, I've had ones like this. I don't like those. I like a manual corn probe. I think they work effectively in most cases. Like, I don't see very many really wild cases of corns. Like, I still work with them. I know how to remove them, but on a day-to-day basis, I don't see a lot of corns, to be honest, like a few, if that. So this is a corn probe. I believe this one is by MBI. So MBI is a decent brand. I feel like their prices are a decent range and their quality is decent. Definitely the corn probe is good. I've used it for many years and still it works really well. Like, I haven't had any issues with the dullness. For a lot of callus, I like to use the Stalix Potto discs. I like to have them fresh on the bottom of the soles. For me, I just feel that it works quickly, it's effective. I don't have to buy more metal pieces of things because, as you know, depending on how often you use your cuticle bits, your EFILE bits, you're gonna have to replace them pretty often. So I like those for the bottom of the feet because there's a lot of work on there. You're gonna be, using your tools a lot on the bottom of the feet, right? So those are going to wear out more quickly. Let's look at this. This is, get this out of my face, one of those sunflower dust vacuums. And as you can see, it's kind of messed it up, and it's not even a year old. Like, this wiring is very fragile. So am I quick to recommend it? Medium. If you're a very delicate person that's not klutzy, like, I'm like, is this my fault? I don't think so. But anyways, the cords here have kind of worn out and I've had to tape it. That being said, it still works for what I need it for. It's nice because it has a light and a vacuum system, and these are replaceable. I think if you're just starting out, this is a really good unit. But if you're gonna take this seriously, for sure, get the Cheyenne vacuum system. I think that's probably like the cream of the crop kind of thing. And it's like decent price. I believe it's like 2,000 Canadian, like decent as in like professional decent, not like you're gonna do this at home and buy a $2,000 machine. I believe they run from $2,000 to $4,000, and you're gonna get so much use out of that, and you're also gonna be super safe because you're not gonna be having to worry about any like airborne things going into your workspace, right? Like, this is decent, but the best option is an EFILE with a vac system, because that's gonna really clean up your air environment and keep you, your clients, your space safe. But that doesn't mean this isn't an option. But for long-term goals, I would get an EVAC system. I like this because I am pivoting my career. Like, I'm making these videos because I don't hate my job, but I just want a different job. And if I could help another person learn about what I know, like, to me, that's a job well done, because I've done a lot in my job. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot of different pivoting within my career. So anytime that I get to help someone, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I think that ends our EFILE bit for pedicures video. Thank you for watching. Maybe the pedicure community will welcome me. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing if you'd like, or not. You could like this video or not. My last video, I don't think the Dazzle Dry community likes me because only 3 people out of 100 people liked my video. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't really bother me, but like, come on guys. I'm just like you. I'm still showing up, okay? Let's be friends. Okay, bye.